One of the strangest events that happens in nature is when a large group of animals die at once. While many times these group deaths can be attributed to a specific cause, there are a few mass die-offs where there is no clear culprit. The absolutely frightening aspect of these mass deaths is that the Earth's ecosystem is incredibly delicate. A drop in the population of one animal can have untold and terrifying consequences for the Earth's ecosystem that could be disastrous for the human race. Here are some mysterious, troubling mass deaths of animal groups. 5. Humboldt squid. One of the most mysterious creatures in the animal kingdom is the Humboldt squid. They're 6 feet long, have strong arms, powerful beaks, and they have red skin, which is why they are sometimes called red devils. The reason the giant squid is so mysterious is because for 95% of their lives they live at depths of 660 to 2,300 feet during the day and at about 220 feet at night. These levels are at depths that can't be reached by scuba divers, so observation expeditions of the creatures are a very costly venture. Needless to say that when thousands of them washed up on the beaches in California in January of 2005, it troubled and puzzled researchers why they would apparently beach themselves. One researcher says the squids may have become mentally deranged after a combination of eating something toxic and spending too much time in warm water. However, that is just an educated guess and the reason for the beaching remains unknown. Humboldt squid are among the largest of squids, reaching a mental length of 1.5 meters, 4.9 feet. They have a reputation for aggression towards humans, though this behavior may possibly only be manifested during feeding times. Like other members of the subfamily Omastrophinae, they possess bioluminescent photophores and are capable of quickly changing body coloration, metachrosis. 4. Harp seals. In December of 2010, the residents of northern Labrador, Canada, started to find dead harp seals littering the beach. Over the course of the month, over 200 young and adult seals washed up dead on the sands. After the bodies were found, a biologist with Fisheries and Oceans Canada did some tests on the frozen carcasses, but couldn't figure out what the cause of death was. All of them looked to be healthy. The pathology tests didn't turn up anything and there was no sign of disease in the seals. One theory is that somehow the seals drowned, but he is unsure how a large group of them would have managed to do so. The harp seal or saddleback seal, Pagophilus groenlandicus, is a species of earless seal native to the northernmost Atlantic Ocean and parts of the Arctic Ocean. It now belongs to the monotypic genus Pagophilus. Its scientific name means ice lover from Greenland, and its synonym, Phaca groenlandica, means Greenland seal. The harp seal has a silvery gray body. Its eyes are pure black. It has black harp or wishbone-shaped markings on the back. 3. Saiga antelopes. The saiga antelopes are an endangered animal that is recognizable because of their oversized nose. They are a critically endangered species and in 2014, there were only 257,000 antelopes and 4 herds. They are only found in parts of Russia and Kazakhstan, and during the winters the herds congregate and then split up during the spring, where they give birth to calves. In May of 2015, during the calving season, disaster struck and within 2 weeks, 134,000 saiga, which is half the population, mysteriously dropped dead. It is believed that bacteria is the culprit, but it is unclear how it became so deadly to the saiga because it is very unusual for a bacterium to be harmless one day and then radically devastating the next. Researchers are currently investigating the cause of the mass deaths in the hopes that they may save the rest of the saiga. They also lived in Burin and North America during the Pleistocene. Today, the dominant subspecies, S.T. pteryca, is only found in one location in Russia and 3 areas in Kazakhstan. A proportion of the S-shirt population migrates south to Uzbekistan and occasionally Turkmenistan in winter. It is extinct on People's Republic of China and southwestern Mongolia. The scientific name of the saiga is Saiga pteryca. It is the sole extant member of its genus and is classified under the family Bovidae. This species was first described by Swedish zoologist Carl Linnaeus in the 12th edition of Systema Naturae. Linnaeus gave it the name culprit pteryca. 2. Pilot whales. Pilot whales are similar to killer whales because they are both in the dolphin family, but pilot whales are slightly smaller and are almost all black or gray with a lighter spot on their stomach. They are found in both the northern and southern hemispheres in tropical parts of the ocean. Pilot whales also have an unusual tendency of beaching themselves en masse. For example, in early 2009, over 400 pilot whales died after they beached themselves in Tasmania. Another group beaching happened in February of 2015, when over 100 pilot whales died after swimming ashore in New Zealand. Those are some of the biggest mass beachings, but smaller groups of pilot whales beach themselves frequently all over the world. For example, 33 were found dead on a beach in Ireland in November of 2010. Then, 20 were found on a beach in Florida in November of 2012. Another mass incident happened in Nova Scotia, Canada in August of 2015, where people found 10 beached whales and 6 died before they could be returned to the water. Those are only a handful of examples and no one is sure why the whales are doing this. It appears that they have a problem navigating in shallow water, but otherwise, scientists are at a loss as to why it happens. Some speculation is that sonar may be affecting them, or it could be disease or trauma that leads them to the shallow water, but no one knows for sure. Pilot whales eat squid primarily, and also fish. They are highly social, and studies suggest that both males and females remain in their mother's pod, an unusual trait among mammals, also found in certain killer whale communities. Short-finned pilot whales are one of the few mammal species in which females go through menopause, and post-reproductive females may contribute to the survival of younger members of their pods. 1. Worker bees. The most famous mass die-off of animals is the death of worker bees throughout the world. In the 1990s, beekeepers started documenting higher-than-average deaths of bees during the winter. In 2006, the deaths were given a new name, colony collapse disorder. By the time the syndrome started making headlines, beekeepers were losing 30 to 90% of their worker bees over the winter. This is a really troubling problem because of how important bees are to our ecosystem. Bees and other insects pollinate 1/3 of everything we eat. Out of all the crops we eat, which includes all fruit, vegetables and nuts, 84% is pollinated by bees. So quite simply, without bees, it could lead to global starvation. While the bees are not near extinction levels yet, an upset in numbers could lead to an imbalance in the world's ecosystem that could be devastating in unforeseen ways. There are a number of theories of what exactly is killing the bees, but no one is really sure. A couple of suspects include microbes, malnutrition and fungicide, but the strongest suspect is neonicotinoids, which is a family of pesticides. In fact, in 2013, Europe banned the use of neonicotinoids for 2 years and the American Federal Drug Administration is currently reviewing its use. However, neonicotinoids are only suspected and researchers are still investigating the possible causes for the deaths of millions of bees around the world. Welcome to the City of Freedom. If you liked the video, you can subscribe to it by clicking on the bell button next to send me notifications.